think we are live. All right, Instagram Live, Facebook Live, still waiting on Facebook Live. Still waiting. All right, there we are. We are live on Facebook Live. Welcome to Deep Dish Football Facebook Live. Deep Dish Football Live, Episode 9, Week 9. IHSA Football, here we go. Last regular season week. It's going to be some fun. Got some big games starting actually tomorrow. We got a lot of games, especially some big games in DuPage County and up north. On a Thursday, high school football Thursday night. Let me get some water. I'm about to choke up. All right. So if you don't know my name is Coach Big Pete, a.k.a. Peter Lambert of DeepDishFootball.com. Make sure you follow Coach Big Pete, Deep Dish Football on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram. My email, again, is CoachBigPeteFP@gmail.com. How you guys doing? All right, so let's get started. Let's start with we got to go through some of the old stuff, as usual. IHSA Playoff Pairing Show start at 6 p.m. on Deep Dish Football Live and Instagram Coach Big Pete Live. We'll be going from 6 to 8. Then the pairings are on statewide. You guys watch, and then 9:30 we'll be booting back up. 9:30 to 10:30 we'll be talking about some of the pairings, and just talking about some of the I keep saying effing brackets, and I know IHSA made a big deal out of that last year, and I apologize. I keep saying brackets, but pairings. I'll go for pairings and all the classes in that. But yeah, start 6 p.m. Deep Dish Football Live on Facebook Live and Instagram Live. Hopefully, we'll have a few guests, special guests. It should be a lot of fun. We'll see what happens. And again, I'm going to need those season stats right now. Yearly awards come out between Sunday and Monday. Deep Dish Football Awards for Deep Dish Football Player of the Year in the state of Illinois. Hog Unit, who's the best offensive line unit in the state of Illinois, please let me know. And the Coach of the Year award as well. So please let me know. Send me your season stats. I know it's week 8, but I will find out on the week that night, Friday night, because this weekend is huge. It's a busy weekend. So make sure I have your season stats. Email me, CoachBigPeteFP@gmail.com. DM me, tweet at me, send me via carrier pigeon, telegram me. Make sure I have, if you have big season stats, please let me know. And again, I gotta do this again. Friday night is going to be a little bit of a pain. I'm not gonna lie. Breakfast with Coach Big Pete is very, very early. It's going to be on midnight of Saturday. So make sure I have your stats right after the game for the Player of the Night in the state of Illinois and offensive line unit in the state of Illinois. Please make sure I have your stats. Again, Breakfast with Coach Big Pete is not at 9 a.m., but at midnight. And Deep Dish Football Live, starting on the playoff season, during the playoff schedule, will be on a Thursday at 4:30, if I'm not mistaken, along with DuPage Run and Shoot. Breakfast with Coach Big Pete will be on a Sunday at 9 a.m. Just to give you guys a quick warning and all the other stuff. Also, starting up free recruiting advisement sessions. Check it out, free recruiting advisement sessions. Again, I talk with parents and kids. It's absolutely free. I tell them the best ways to get recruited, the best ways to get spotted. And again, it's free. Just email me at CoachBigPeteFP@gmail.com if you want to schedule a Zoom call, a phone call, or whatever. So please let me know. And again, my email is CoachBigPeteFP@gmail.com. Jeez. All right. But again, let's get started, shall we? And again, my email, again, CoachBigPeteFP@gmail.com, yada, yada, yada. Follow me on TikTok, Twitter, and all that. If you like my work, feel free to leave tips / donation via PayPal and VENMO link below if you like my work. If you don't like my work, I apologize, and you can complain to Clint Cosgrove. He will take your complaints about me. So, yeah, just let you guys know. All right, and again, that's a joke, because I have to say that's a joke, because people literally get crazy about that. All right. Deep Dish Football. There's no Deep Dish Football game of the week by week. Games so far. Brother Rice versus Marist. And again, Brother Rice is looking pretty hot, especially with that big win over Joliet Catholic 2 weeks ago. Again, you want to be on fire when you get into the playoffs. This is a big game for him against a tough Marist team. And again, you got Mello at the defensive tackle for Marist, who's absolutely killing it right now. This is going to be a big-time game. Brother Rice versus Marist. And, of course, the big game, the big school game of the night. Today it's a Saturday game. Mount Carmel Caravan take on Loyola Academy. Wow. Again, it'll be up to these two quarterbacks. I think that's going to be a key quarterback battle. Jake Sterney versus Blaine Dowling. Blaney Dowling is having a hell of a season. So is Jake Sterney. The big thing will be how Loyola's defensive line can get pressure on Blaine Dowling. I think that's going to be huge because Mount Carmel's offensive line has been very impressive this season. Next, Piatone versus Lyle. Piatone, again, they already clinched, I believe they already clinched a spot in the playoffs. Lyle needs to win this one to clinch a spot in the playoffs. Lyle, again, this is last year for Parpet. Parpet wants to go out on top against a tough Blue Devil team that features a multitude of hybrid athletes. And again, they have a great running attack. They have a great defense. Nice secondary with some good linebackers, too, of those Blue Devils. But Lyle, they got Chris Farrell, the big lineman. And again, they have... this is going to kill me. They got a sophomore who's an absolute star. He got over 200 yards rushing last weekend. He's going to be huge. St. Francis versus IC is the big one. Of course, IC's got one loss. St. Francis is undefeated. Who will win this defensive battle, especially with IC secondary playing a chess match against Alessio, their quarterback at St. Francis? That's going to be key. Also, take a look also at St. Francis' ground game. They need to pick up major yards in that ground game against that defensive line of IC. This is one of the best games in the state of Illinois. This is a tremendous test for St. Francis. A tremendous test for St. Francis. IC has had a lot of tests on their schedule. But this is going to be a great game, St. Francis versus IC. And I believe it's at IC. Wheaton Warrenville South versus Glenbar North. Wheaton Warrenville South's got a little slimmer chance of getting to the playoffs. So does Glenbar North. Glenbar North, again, they had a few tough games, turned over the ball. But again, the big thing will be against Wheaton Warrenville South. Again, pressure. Glenbar North also, too. And like I said just a couple seconds ago, don't turn over the ball. Next, and this is a Thursday game. Naperville North takes on Naperville Central. McCormick looking good for Naperville Central. Naperville North looking tremendous. Again, Neuqua Valley lost last week to the Kelb in a big upset, 14-0. So this is definitely a game you got to check out in the DuPage Valley Conference. Next one, Batavia Bulldog football takes on St. Charles North Stars. Always a big game every season for the last game of the season. The big thing, again, will be Plum versus Bow. And again, Batavia's run attack, and can St. Charles North put a stop to it? That will be huge. Keep an eye out for Venezuela. Their DB at St. Charles North did an interview with the kid. Nice kid, great kid, definitely a recruit you got to check out. Genoa Kingston versus Stillman Valley. Stillman Valley still killing it right now. Genoa Kingston looking great. I'm telling you right now, Genoa Kingston's going to be a big dark horse when they get to the playoffs. Fenwick versus St. Ignatius is a battle of... that's just my personal feeling. St. Ignatius, they still have some talent, but I think they graduated a lot of leaders last season, so this is definitely going to be a game to check out. Crystal Lake South versus Huntley. Crystal Lake South's Caden Casimo is having a hell of a season. Michael Parokos is having a hell of a season too. He had a big game last week. Crystal Lake South against Huntley, and again for Crystal Lake South will be, can they put a stop to Sandalgao? That's killing me. I apologize. Burlington Central versus Bloomington Central Catholic versus Prairie Central. Huge. Bloomington Central Catholic, again, keep a close eye out for the quarterback. Good offensive line, too. Solid starting lineup, blocking. And again, Prairie Central looking unbelievable. Good rush attack as well. So they're going to be another team to watch out in the playoffs as well. Canelan versus LaSalle Peru. LaSalle Peru got the big win. I think it was last week. It was last week or two. I think it was 2 weeks ago. I apologize. Canelan looking good. Eric Johnson's getting the ball. Troyer Carlson, Brett Larson. Yeah, Canelan's warming up, people. Do not sleep on these nights. Don't sleep on them. Morris versus Sycamore. Sycamore, if I'm not mistaken, is undefeated. Morris has one loss, I believe, from Richmond Burton. Definitely a big-time game as we look at Sycamore. Eli Meyer is lighting up the boards. And again, a good, solid defense, good secondary. Kiefer Tarky, their linebacker, is another big-time, highly recruited linebacker that you must know out of Sycamore. Mercer County versus Annan Wethersfield, I believe the Geese, if I'm not mistaken. Another big-time game, Mercer County. They got to bounce back against a tough Annan Wethersfield team. Definitely a team to check out. Prospect versus Rolling Meadows. Prospect, one loss. Rolling Meadows, they've had some tough games. Evan Grace, their star quarterback, definitely a game to check out. They got a good group of wide receivers in Rolling Meadows too, so it should be interesting. Hoffman Estates versus Palatine. The Palatine Pirates looking really good. They bounced back after a tough loss. I think it was week 6, week 7. They had a tough little upset loss. They're playing a tough Hoffman Estates team that's battle-tested. Definitely a game to check out. Stevenson versus Liberty in the battle for getting a playoff berth. Stevenson. Big shout out to the Stevenson Patriots on a well-deserved good season. This is going to be a tough game against Libertyville. Libertyville's got a nice young quarterback. Definitely a kid that should keep out. Boning, their offensive lineman, good solid offensive lineman for the Wildcats. Stevenson Patriots has a wide receiver that this is his first year of football, and he's got a chance. He seriously has a chance to be a Division I football recruit. Keep an eye out for Stevenson Patriot football. Belvedere North versus Guilford. Belvedere North suffered their first loss last season to the Harlem Huskies. Guilford, again, they're looking really good, especially when they get into the playoffs. This is a big game. Skylar Wolf from Guilford is definitely a quarterback to check out. Kankakee versus Creek-Montney. The big game. The big battle in the Southern Burbs. The way Southern Burbs. And Creek-Montney, again, they're looking really good. They've had some tough games. They've etched out some wins that they should have clearly gotten a big lead and won those games. They had a tough game against Rich Township. Kankakee is bounced tremendously after that loss to Nazareth. Kankakee, again, when they get into the playoffs, that's going to be scary. That's going to be very, very scary. No doubt about that. Oswego East versus Plainfield North. The big thing will be, can Oswego East put a stop to Demar Ashur and that offense? Also, can Oswego East put points up on that defense, that smash mouth defense of Plainfield North? Next game, Nazareth Academy taking on Bennett Academy. The battle of, can we make it to the playoffs? And again, I'm eating crow for my Nazareth. I thought Nazareth was going to have actually a really stunning season that people were going to be shocked by. They're having a good season, but this is going to be a good game. And again, for Nazareth Academy, I think especially with their offensive line, there were still a few dust ups with their offensive line against that St. Rita defensive line for the game of the week. Just hopefully everything remains solid, especially when Nazareth Academy, the Roadrunners, get into the playoffs if they win against Bennett. Bennett Academy, again, good solid ground game. They've had games where they were where they've had close games, especially out-of-state games. But we'll see what happens. Bennett, they've been on and off this season, so we'll see what happens there. Niles Notre Dame takes on St. Rita. St. Rita's on fire. I'm telling you that right now. St. Rita's on fire. Niles Notre Dame, they need this win. This is going to be a huge win if they can get the win against this tough St. Rita team. Again, that kid Stewart from St. Rita, he is literally a tank. He is a tank. He will run your ass over. Niles Notre Dame, again, the big thing will be the defensive line. And can Can they get penetration against that St. Rita offensive line? That's going to be huge. Downers Grove North versus Lions Township. Downers Grove North looking strong. Lions looking strong. They lost to Glenbard West last week in a tough-fought game. Is there a hangover when they play DGN? We will see what happens, but DGN is looking great going into the playoffs this season. Coach Harini has done a wonderful job and is definitely a candidate for Coach of the Year in the state of Illinois. Moline versus Geneseo. Again, they got the big win last week against Rock Island. This is a tough game. Moline is, I believe they get the conference. If they get the conference title, they're sharing it. But that Moline offensive line, that's going to be a big pass for the Geneseo defensive front. Phillips versus Kenwood. Phillips, unbelievable. They're going to get into the playoffs against a tough Kenwood team. Kenwood's getting some of the players back. Definitely a big game to check it out for. What's up, Dyron? Lincoln Way East versus Bradley Bourbonnais. Coach Cole, what more can you say? Coach Cole has worked his magic with this Bradley Bourbonnais team this season. This Bradley Bourbonnais team is no joke. And the quarterback Cole he's looking good as well. The big thing will be, can they get the surprise? Can they get the shocker against the tougher Lincoln Way East Griffin team? That's going to be tough. That's a tough mountain to climb, especially for Coach Cole. Could they get it done? Yes. Are they going to get it done? We'll see what happens. But Lincoln Way East, they're just that damn good. They really are that damn good. Young offensive line. And this team's going to be good for a couple of years. I'm sorry. Coach Sovner's got these guys playing their asses off. All right. Lockport versus Andrew. Another big-time game. Andrew's going to be in the playoffs with Barbary. Lockport is going to be in the playoffs. State champions last year. Hey. Interesting game in those Southern Burbs. Lockport, I think it's Ethan Gallagher. He's having a good thing, so definitely. And Andrew High School had two running backs. They had 2 touchdowns each last week. Mamahood Seymour versus Bloomington. Interesting game. Bloomington is putting up some major league points. Mamahood Seymour is putting up some major points. Wyatt Bowman is definitely a Player of the Year candidate, no doubt about that. Mount Vernon versus Mount Carmel. Mount Carmel Golden Aces. Slow down, people. Mount Vernon Rams. Again, Coach. It's killing me. Mount Vernon, the Rams, again, looking good. Good season so far. Coach Mings is definitely a candidate for Coach of the Year in the state of Illinois. No doubt about that. Taking on a tough Golden Ace team. A massive offensive line. And just unbelievable athlete, quarterback for the Mount Carmel Golden Aces and Blaine Sisson. This is definitely a big game to keep an eye out for. Wood River versus Red Bud. Wood River getting into the playoffs in 4A. Definitely a thing to keep an eye out for. What's up, Patrick? How you doing? So we get to the question that was sent to me via email. What class will be the toughest one seed to survive in? What class will be the toughest one seed to survive in? I'm telling you right now, for the past years, except 2020 because of COVID, the past years, 8A has always been a pain in the ass. 8A is tough. It really is tough. And some of those higher seeds, and I know you asked about 1 seed. Thank you to Kent from Elmhurst. The 1A seed in A is a pain in the ass. 7A is going to be a battle too. 1A, 2A, you got a great idea who the big team dogs are. 3A, 2, I think is an easier route. But 8A, 7A is a pain in the ass. 4A is going to be also another pain in the ass. 5A, 2. 6A, yeah, you could, probably say that's going to be another pain in the ass. Like I said, I am not expecting a normal postseason unlike last season. I'm expecting the same thing to happen what we had last season. I'll eat crow for it, but I think these playoffs are going to be absolutely batshit crazy. And I really do mean it. I think there's going to be a lot of crazy things happening. And I think we're going to see a lot of teams hoisting the IHSA state title trophy that we did not expect to be there. That's my personal feeling. And I can get a good feeling after that first week of playoffs, after the first round. But it's going to be crazy. It's going to be a crazy one and it's an exciting one. And like I said, football parity is great in high school football. It is great in high school football. And you got some coaches. This is their last season. They're going to be in the playoffs. Ken Leonard from Sacred Heart Griffin, they want to send Ken Leonard out with a state title. St. Rita, they want to send Coach Kruska out with a state title as well. This is big. This is going to be big, and it should be fun. Should be a lot of fun. All right, any questions, ask on Facebook and Instagram Live. And again, Deep Dish Breakfast with Coach Big Pete is midnight Friday. Make sure I have your stats for that night after the game. I need them exactly after the game. People, I'm going quick. I'm going hard the whole weekend trying to get these stats out and get these articles out and everything else. And again, make sure I have your season stats for Deep Dish Football Player of the Year. Please make sure I get your season stats right now. I will check Week 9 for stats as well. But the big thing, I need those season stats as soon as possible. Tonight, send them. I will check Week 9. Player of the Year will be announced most likely Sunday or Monday. Coach of the Year, Sunday or Monday. New award, Offensive Line Unit of the Year award, Hogs of the Year in the State of Illinois award will be coming out too. Make sure I get your stats, offensive line coaches as well. I've already got some good stats too, by the way. Got some stats from Plainfield South and what is Plainfield South? I forgot 2 other schools. But yeah, send your stats. And again, after that Week 9 game, I need those stats. So when you get back in the locker room and you see your phone, send me your stats, please. So yeah, but yeah, send me those stats. Please let me know. Yes, they do. Dude, Barstool Glenbard West. Come on, man. Really? You're going to ask that question. Glenbard West, does they have a chance at 8? Yes, if they do. It's Glenbard F and West. Come on, my man. Come on. Really? That's like asking if a fat kid does a fat kid want a piece of cake? Come on, Glenbard West Barstool. Come on, man. You really got to ask that question? Come on. Come on. All right. Thank you guys so much for joining. I know this was quick. DuPage Run Shoot Show coming out tomorrow morning with my co-host. We'll talk DuPage County football. We'll talk about Glenbard West as well. But again, thank you guys so much for joining. I know this was a fast-paced one. But again, this weekend is a hell weekend for me, basically. Because I'll be on my computer. I got to do a bunch of articles. I keep saying brackets. IHSA is going to kick my ass in for that. Pairings. So please, 6 p.m. 6 p.m. 6 p.m. On Facebook Live and Instagram Live will be the IHSA Pairing Show from 6 p.m. to 8 p.m. on Saturday. Then 9:30 to 10:30, we'll talk about the brackets. A little bit of a pre-show from 6 to 8, then a post-show from 9:30 to 10:30. And again, if you like my work, feel free to leave a tip donation via PayPal or Venmo link. My email again, coachbigpetefp@gmail.com. Make sure I get those stats, people. Season and Week 9 stats. I need those stats for a season right now. And again, when you finish that game on Friday night, please send me, if you had a big game, if you're a teammate, a player, parent, a fan, let me know. My email is coachbigpetefp@gmail.com. Thank you guys so much for joining. I know this was, again, fast-paced. Midnight will be Breakfast with Coach Big Pete on Saturday. Midnight, yes, it is very late. I will be on pots of coffee. I will be drinking so much coffee. I'll be pissing like a racehorse. I'm not going to lie. All right. You guys have a great night. Enjoy. DuPage Run Shoot Show coming out tomorrow. Make sure you follow DuPage Run Shoot Show on Twitter and Facebook.